I don't know about you folk, but I always tend to have one extra paver or two extra once I've done a DIY project or made a new pathway in the garden. So what better use than to take this paver and create a paver table. You can simply use it in the garden, in the house, on the patio, and you've got rid of that one paver and put it to good use. Right guys, before we get to the paver, we need to build the base. Okay, and the base is really simple, and remember, most hardware stores today, you email them a list and they'll cut it for you. So what you're going to need is the following. You need 3 260, okay, 260 in length. It's 20 mil timber by 70 mil wide. Now, the length is important. Your thickness in that you can choose. All right, so we've got 3 of those. We've got 4 that are 360. All right, and then I've got 4 that are 400. That's all we need to build this little guy. Remember, they're going to cut it all. We've got it. Next step here is to get in our little pocket holes. What is a pocket hole? Well, basically, it's a nifty little gadget. Look at this here. Okay, you pre-drill the holes. It gives you a really strong connectivity, and especially when you're building anything square, it really makes life a whole lot easier. So I've already marked those out, pre-drilled them. Right folks, first step is we're going to make the 2 frames to start off our wooden structure. Now this is the 360 and it's got 2 pocket holes there, 2 pocket holes there. What we're going to do is we're going to pop it into this clamp to make life easier so that we get a real 90 degree. In the 400 length of timber, there are no pocket holes because we're screwing this guy and attaching it into here. All right, so just a bit of jiggling. Don't tighten it yet. Have a look at where you are. Right, and then on what we call the mating surfaces is just add a bit of glue here where that guy's going to join there. Just makes those joins really nice and tough. So we know where it's going to go. Just pop a bit on here. Not a lot, guys. Really not a lot. And if any of it does squish out, it's important that you do wipe it off. So pop that little baby in there and that little guy in there. And then we just tighten our clamp. Right, and as you can see there, we've got perfect 90 degree, which is why this little gadget, this clamp, really helps do the job. And now all we're going to do is take one of our little pocket hole screws and we're going to pop it in there. Turn it over, do the same to the other side. Alrighty, take this little baby out, and there we have a perfect 90 degree. And then we join the other side to make our frame. Nice and easy. Right folks, our 2 frames are now made. There's the one, here is the other one. It's easier to work with them facing away from you. We've got 3 pieces left. One is popping in there. Another one is popping in there. And our third one is in the center right there. Okay, so let's get them on. All right, folks, clamp off, and yes, we have a very sturdy base. All that we've got to do now is give it a light sanding. Once we've done the sanding, just to get rid of all the extra bits that might have been there, we're then going to give it a wipe down with some mineral turpentine and then apply our first coat of marine seal. I'm using a marine seal, folks, which is incredibly tough and durable. It's also UV resistant, and it will make your wood last for so much longer, especially if you're using it outdoors. Right folks, first the coat is dry, and one of the positives about marine seal is that it's really quick drying. So that's done its job. Now, very fine sandpaper, I'm using 180 grit, just to give it a quick once over. What that does is it lifts up any bits that might have been left there from our first sanding, and of course helps the next coat to penetrate even better into the wood. And that should do it. Guys, third coat on. Now your job is done. Leave this to dry. And whilst this is drying, we're going to get going on the paving stone. All right, folks, pop the paving block on 2 pieces of wood, and we are going to get going with the sealing. Now, you can be average, and you could seal it with just the plain tile and cement sealer, and then the natural color would come through. Or you can add a bit of bling to it, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We are using the cement and tile sealer. It's a water-based product. It looks like milk. Yeah, it does. It's quick drying. And guys, when you put this on, it really is going to suck into here and go into the product. It is completely watertight once you've put it on, which means that if you wanted to use this outside for sealing paving, slash stow, slate, it really does the job. Give it a good stir, and then we add in the magic. This little oakie over here will go into 1 liter of the product. Now, of course, you can choose your color as you want, but we wanted something really bright and funky, so watch what happens. Ooh, this is gonna be cool. Don't you love it? Beautiful, just beautiful. And that, my friends, is gonna take this paver from 0 to hero. All we got to do is give it a good stir. Okay, so dip and go and watch the transformation begin. All right, and whether you are painting a piece of wood or a paver, using any stain, it's important in any color that you do move it over the surface evenly. Because this paver is very porous, it's going to need at least 3 coats of our fire engine red. And the beauty about it is that it dries really quickly, and it's water repellent as well as oil repellent. Right, folks, 3 coats on, looking good. And now what we're going to do is get that paver onto here, but we're going to stick it. We're going to make sure that it doesn't move. So even if it wobbles a bit, or if somebody knocks it, it ain't going to fall over. So we've got a interior adhesive here, and all we're going to do is just put a squirt along the surfaces and then pop it on, allow it to dry a bit, and our table will be good to go.